Pick a card. What kind of hero are you? Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you at your reading. Hi friends, my name is Griselle with Psychic MD, and I'm here to do another pick a card reading. Let's get a little sagey sage going on here just because we can. So today we're going to go ahead and do what type of hero are you? So as per usual, I'm going to give you 6 cards and we are going to explore what type of hero are you? Why or how does this inspire others? How do some people villainize or misunderstand this? How are you being supported? And the hero's self-care. It's a lot to cover. So I'd like 3 cards. What type of hero are you? 3 cards, please. First one, falling in love. Second option, energy field adjustment, aura cleansing, and health. And the third option, the present, gift, treasure, relation of own value, nowness. Oh, revelation of own value. That makes a lot more sense, huh? Okay, guys, pick your cards, pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and I'll see you at your reading. Hi, pile 1. My name is Griselle with Psychic MD. If you chose pile 1, this is your reading. You chose falling in love, kissing the divine in another, and yourself. We're going to go ahead and get 2 more cards out here. What type of hero are you, pile number 1? Very interesting here. We have endurance. Keep going. And 1 more, please. We have freedom, independence, self-determination. So first off, we're going to address the falling in love. And I feel like how you are the hero in other people or for other people is that you have a genuine appreciation at last for yourself. I feel like a lot of people have seen how much you did not love yourself once upon a time, or people are seeing a new transformation in you to where you've dropped all of those preconceived notions, all of those outmoded tapes, things that you used to do perhaps that were not in your own best interest are no longer things that entertain your psyche, and definitely don't entertain your time on that. I feel like people are seeing how you are evolving from a darkness into the light, for lack of a better way of saying it. See how we're coming through from this purple into the orange. And I feel like that is a lot about your spirituality, about your great awakening if you are undergoing it. A lot of you guys are just barely coming through a dark night of the soul experience. Now, this can happen several times throughout our lifetime. And that's why I feel like the purple is here to really address how your spiritual awakening and your dark night of the soul has just really served to transform, and you've been able to embrace your shadow side as well as your light side. And therefore there's like no condemnation, but there is spiritual growth, elevation, a glow up, if you will. And with the orange back here, I feel like this is your sacral chakra. Perhaps this is talking about how you are now finding your creativity, and people are flabbergasted, I heard, astounded. This is inspiring other people to look at their own life, to see that, hey, if you can do it, so can they. That was confirmation squeak from Coco. With endurance, I feel also like people have seen you go through the thick of it, through okay, Coco, thank you. Difficult times, challenging times. People realize that you have really swam the depth of the oceans, and you've gone in search of parts of you that you didn't even know existed before. And I feel like that type of endurance, not only endurance, but also that type of dedication is incredibly inspiring. I'm so sorry about the squeaks. I can't help that. So the next I have here is freedom, independence, self-determination. So I feel like this really kind of talks to me about more like almost like the death card. I feel like you've had a rebirth of sorts. This also is like coming from darkness into the light. So a lot of what you, how you present to other people as being the hero is your ability to move from the darkness into the light, from situations and perhaps a life or circumstances or all of the above that was less than ideal. A lot of hardship, a lot of trauma bonding, and a lot of things that needed the light in order to be separated. Almost like with a scalpel. I'm not going to be surprised if the Ace of Swords show up here. But I do believe that you have this ability to not only transform and evolve, but to kind of show people that you are a new you. And this does not include, he's so active. All right, calm down. This doesn't include like showing off or anything like that. I just think that whatever it is that you are doing and how you're showing up in people's lives is really inspiring. And a lot of people are afraid to go into their shadow side or the depth that you have jumped in on. And that could be a little bit scary. And a lot of people are afraid of endings and of, most of all, new beginnings. I mean, I think that a lot of us kind of clench onto things that we have simply because we know it. And that is flat out inspiring. I'm feeling like a lot of people for pile number 1 are inspired. A lot of people that are inspired by you are people that have been in abusive situations, in SA situations or DV situations. A lot of that happening. A lot of people that have been isolated. A lot of people I feel that have lost their memory. For some reason that's coming through. That won't be for everybody. That'll be for somebody. A lot of people also that are comparing themselves to things like Instagram and all sorts of social media. And now they're realizing that perhaps there is more to things than those images reveal. I heard a lot of Spanx being worn. Yeah, so I feel like you're maybe in the process of evolving yourself and transforming by yourself. You're also unwittingly exposing other people as well, which is quite interesting. So let's see what else we are going to look at. Okay, take a couple as to how or why this inspires others, even though I already covered that. Let's see. Doubt. I release the need to know all the answers. Yeah, and I feel like you're not presenting as somebody who's like, oh, I have it all covered and I got it all figured out. But you're like, I'm willing to swim through the depth to find out what exactly I need to know, what I need to retrieve in order to be my best self, in order to let go of what I need to let go of. But most of all, I feel like you have, you know, dove deep within yourself in order to recover. And you didn't know what you were going to recover, but parts of you will recover that you love. And I love that for you. Yeah. I think that how you present as a hero in other people's lives also is acceptance. How you're accepting yourself. How you're maybe not making any pretenses. And even letting people see, yeah, I was doubting. I didn't know how it was going to all turn out. But here we are. And things are like pretty amazing. And I'm shocked. Acceptance. I'm learning to accept the things I cannot change. And I think about that a lot with the ego death. And that's a topic that the spiritual community is, you know, pretty interested in. And so am I as well. But I think that, you know, when we try to control everything, that's a lot having to do with ego and or, you know, lack of ability to control things when we were younger typically, which develops into like OCD and things like that. Obviously, so your therapist, your, you know, doctors. I'm not a doctor, but that's an observation. And I feel like you have been able to go through all of these phases and things, maybe in full public, like full on, you know, publicly. Maybe you are publicly like, oh, hey, you know, I suffered with bipolar and this is what my day looks like. And this is the trajectory I'm on, and things are so much better. And you're kind of squishing the shame out of things. Or, you know, I suffered with SA, and this is my story of how I'm evolving and growing. And it's been painful and tough, but wow, like coming out to the other side, I feel so much more freedom, because you have really elevated yourself to have freedom in such a way that people would not expect. I feel like there was a lot of repression in you. And I think that even those things, those scars, you are wearing proudly, by the way. And I think also that you are having like a new dawn of the day. I'm hearing, I don't know what that means exactly, except it reminds me of like Shaun of the Dead, if you guys know, you know. But I do feel like you're having a new day, and that things are being exposed around your personal life in such a way that I think, you know, you're being viewed as completely different. I think people misunderstood you. And I think with the ego death, you've been able to kind of let go of that. And it's not like we let go of it once. It was, you know, just like whenever we have to go back to the drawing board and work on that. But I feel like you are willing to do those things because you're finding things that are incredibly beautiful. I feel like you're finding your peace as well. You're finding your natural cycle and your natural flow in life in general. And you're able to kind of roll with the punches and understand that everything ebbs and flows and have peace with that. What else? Oh, envy. Oh gosh. Okay. So I did not expect that. Apparently you are inspiring envy in some people. I'm the same as everybody, but with different challenges. And so people could be really envious of you and your glow up or your ability to kind of transform, transmute, and be actually different than you were yesterday or yesteryear, okay? Unfortunately, you're going to have some haters, and that's just kind of how it goes. But it's really interesting because your sacral chakra is being really featured right here. So this has to do with your creativity, your sensuality, your desire for, well, desire period, right? But it's also like your reason to get up in the morning and kind of do whatever it is that you do, your motivation. And I think that people are envying that because they're maybe a little bit trapped in a kind of in a rat race that they don't really belong in, and they too can get out. Yeah. So I feel like you also give people peace, that there is a way out of things, that if, again, you can make it through and you can discover things about yourself and that you can continue growing, and that, yeah, things may not be perfect and things may not be completely spelled out, but that you are miles away from where you originally came from. I feel like that snuffs out the doubt in them to begin with. So that's very, very cool. I'm going to do, how do some people villainize or misunderstand this? And this actually came out before I was even ready to ask the question, but I feel like this brings in a lot of fights, a lot of external fights, a lot of people wanting to fight you, fight other people around you, fight behind your back, fighting within themselves. I think it causes a lot of tumultuous emotions, to say the least, okay? And even you could have like a tribe wanting to band against you because, well, I can't repeat what I said. Well, I can, but I won't. Yeah, I just feel like you kind of disturb the demons. And once that happens, well, what are you going to do? I mean, it's there, you know, it's out there, it's out there. So you can't not be you just to make these demons happy. How are you sometimes villainized or misunderstood about this, about being a hero, or those parts of you that are heroic? Six of Swords. People can say that you just run away, that when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. And I feel like with the Six of Swords, we know that Six of Swords is definitely about moving into calmer waters. And so running away can be an interpretation of someone who has envy towards you and jealousy, and Five of Wands who wants to fight you, basically. But the reality of it is that, you know, I feel like you're moving away from turbulence. Yeah, turbulence and rough waters. So that could definitely be misconstrued. One more card about how this could be misunderstood. How could you be misunderstood or villainized? We want to keep it on the positive. Ace of Wands, okay? And this is like, look at this. This looks like a great forest, a great mystery. This wand is planted in the middle of nowhere, and it seems to have no real reason to have a root here. And yet here it is, shining in all its glory. And I think that people are misunderstanding, because I have sacral, the 3 first chakras, the root chakra, the sacral or sacral, and the, oh my gosh, the yellow one. Hello, the solar plexus. Okay, so all 3 of these right here are being featured, and I definitely feel like this is something that is causing envy and misunderstanding in other people. And I feel like some people are saying, well, you just want attention. You just want, okay, for some of you guys, the rumor is that people think that you just want sex. I don't know how that even relates to that, but okay, you know, I mean, if people are determined to misunderstand them, let them. That's on them, okay? So how are you being supported or inspired? How are you being supported, pal? Number 1, if you're liking this kind of reading, please do give me a like, share, comment, subscribe. How are you being supported or inspired on this journey? Pal number 1, how are you being supported or inspired? The 4 of Cups, that's kind of funny. So you're being supported now by the 4 of Cups. Maybe this is looking into offers that you didn't accept that maybe you should have, but also offers that you should have accepted that you didn't. Hope I said that right. Reflection, self-reflection. You're being supported by reflecting. And also you're being supported by receiving offers that are less than. And that way, I feel like it tests your resolve, because I feel like there's some doubt about how strong you are, or how committed you are, or how really changed you are. You know, those of us that are on a spiritual path are expected to be perfect in everything and have all the answers. And if we fail at something or fall down, we're expected to be, you know, more than. So obviously, if you're a hero, what kind of a hero falls down? Well, you look at like Superman or, you know, Batman or any of those that stereotypically have their own bumps. Otherwise, there'd be no storyline, and you would know that it happens, right? We're all human. So 3 of Pentacles, this is how you're being supported, with collaboration, with cooperation, with support, with people saying, hey, I want to collaborate with you. Like, you know, that happened with me and Helen with Eye of the Serpent, which I'm so grateful for. And so we're able to kind of collaborate and bring to the, you know, to the drawing board something different. I feel also with the blue dress here that you're able to speak your truth a lot more, and that you're having a fire and a passion about it while you do it, okay? So that's how you're being supported. The next, how you being supported or inspired is the 5 of Cups. How confusing is that? So I feel like what you're being supported and inspired by is also by the things that make you sad, the things that perhaps you were left behind, or the things, you know, the good times that you felt were really, really good, the times that are bygone, the days that are of old, basically. And I feel like that inspires you because it helps you to go deep within and really kind of ask those questions like, well, was it really a good time? Or does my memory fail? Did that wine taste as good as I thought it did? Or did they change the recipe? Or, you know, all of those questions. It's like, was it really that good? And what parts were good about it? Was it just like a couple of things that were great? So reminiscing and kind of thinking about, you know, the times where you felt, you know, that people were with you, that things were going well, etc., etc. That's a good thing to kind of re-examine to see if that is in the flow of what you are currently doing today and how you're currently doing today, especially with all of this new growth you have. Now, it's also inspiring you as a hero to remember the 2 of Cups. What exactly is your emotional cup? How do you feel emotionally fulfilled and loved? I heard topped off. Well, that's an interesting thing, but yeah, not wrong. So all of those come into question, and asking those questions, I feel like, helps you to continue to elevate and swim the waters and navigate yourself even, okay? So the Hero's Self-Care. We're going to use a different deck for this. I know this reading is a little bit long, but how are you being supported or inspired was answered. Now this is the hero self-care. Oh, the Chariot. Part of your self-care is to go ahead and, I heard get your act together. That would be me. I identify as pile number 1, let's confess. But the Chariot reverse is about stopping motion. Maybe you're moving too fast. Maybe you're jumping the gun. Maybe visiting and moving and doing all this stuff is keeping you from even more self-exploration, more examination. It's not that we have to have that paralysis of analysis, but we definitely need to go within. And it is, you know, some self-care. Take time to pause. Take time to have a break. You don't need to be rushing from this event to that one, to do this, to do that. You have nothing to really prove to other people. And I really struggle with that myself. You know, I heard time on the couch is well spent. Take that however you will. The hero self-care. How and what does that look like? Bottom of the deck, I have the Empress. So the Empress, this is about, yeah, abundance, enjoying your abundance. And I feel like taking a moment to pause and see exactly what you have around you. Everything can be enjoyed. Like right now, I'm just looking at the leaves gently fall, which is interesting because it's not quite, you know, well, we're still summer, but I wouldn't expect to see a lot of leaves falling, and yet I have sitting here. So taking moments like that to appreciate your own abundance, maybe the money you make, the sensuality, the good foods, the good sex, the good friendships, the good life, whatever it is that is good for you, appreciate it. It's a great moment to pause. That is part of self-care, is not only just positive affirmations, but gratitude affirmations. Is that like a saying? Not a saying, but you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? The hero self-care. One more card, please. Pile number 1. Walking away from things that don't give you joy, that don't give you pleasure. Walking away from things that are tedious, that demand it, that you give a lot of attention to pour all of the liquid into these 8 cups. So that they all match. So we're at the same level. They are balanced on top of each other. And yet you're missing the 9th cup. I feel like this is fulfilling other people's expectations, including being the hero of other people's stories. Because in the end, we do need to be our own heroes. And there is really no knight in shining armor out there. We need to rescue ourselves. So I feel like allowing those emotions to flow. Sometimes you might have like some sadness about it. And I get that. But you're in search of the 9th cup, and this is your best self-care possible, because that's how you are going to inspire other people to be motivated to take care of themselves as well, and to be the best heroes that they can be, and not to stay in stagnant situations or situations that weigh them down brutally, I'm hearing. So that is what I have for you. Pile number 1, if you're liking this reading, again, do give me a like, share, comment, subscribe. Much love to you. Leave me a comment on what you'd like to see next if you are a brave soul. If not, I'm wild child and I'll do what I want. Much love to you. Namaste. Hi, pile number 2. My name is Griselle with Psychic MD, and I'm here to do your pick a card reading. If you chose energy field adjustment and aura cleansing and health, then by golly, you're in the right reading. So let's get a little bit more of an idea. What kind of hero are you? Energy field adjustment. I like that. I like that. I'm feeling right away frequency. I'm thinking Nikolai Tesla 369. You could be on board with that. You could be seeing the numbers 369, by the way. Okay. Pile number 2. What type of hero are you? Pile number 2, please. 2 more cards. I feel this. Oh, yeah. Telepathy. And I feel this. Sanctuary. I was looking at these. That's so cool. Okay. So let's see what we can see here. Get them all on camera. Hopefully. So first of all, with the energy field, aura cleansing and health, I feel like people are seeing how you purge, and I don't mean that in a vulgar way. Obviously, you could be into cleansing your body, doing like like liver cleanse, like detox, eating clean, all things like that, but also energetically, mind, body, and soul, unplugging from social media, from electronics altogether, doing cleanses like that. You could be somebody who enjoys going to retreats and whatnot. And I think that the way that you unplug and cleanse your aura and cleanse your energy and the way you focus is really inspiring for other people, because I feel like you view it as like a gem. If I don't have this, then what do I have? And that's really inspiring, that level of self-care. Next, I have is telepathy, nonverbal communication, energetic pulses, and mind reading. And I love how these two mermaids are intertwined in the shape of a heart. Now, I feel like the kind of hero that you are is that you could be somebody who is hanging out with someone and you, quote, read people's minds. You know exactly what's on their mind, what's on their heart. You apparently know like the right thing to say, or you can even kind of say a word or a sentence or address a topic that other people are thinking but they haven't brought up, or they're kind of fearful or uncomfortable to talk about. I also feel like the kind of hero you are is that people believe that you have telepathy, just flat out, just like that. And the interesting part is that when I think that people are in need, or they're kind of a periphery acquaintance or whatever, I think that that is seen as like helpful and heroic. But I do feel like it gets villainized once you know people quite a bit, or if you're dating someone, or if it's your partner or a family member, that tends to get villainized a little bit. And I know that was like a couple of questions down, but it was just coming to me, so I figured I'd say it. Next, I have the sanctuary, privacy, personal space, respected boundaries, and taboos. So I'm trying to read from afar here. Okay. Yeah, so I feel like you have your own personal sanctuary. You may like to spend a lot of isolated time like I do. You might take baths or spiritual baths, or take time to connect with Mother Nature, whatever that looks like to you. I think that you could be an energy worker. You could do Reiki. You could be focused on sacred geometry. You could be somebody that is in the healing arts overall. You could be known as a healer, or somebody that you're like the balm for people's soul around you. I don't feel like you're very verbose, by the way. I don't think that you're somebody who's just really talking and chatting all the time, but I feel like people instinctively feel calm and at peace when they're around you. And that is one way of how you are the hero in other people's lives, that you don't have to really ask invasive questions, like telepathically. You're able to pick up on innuendos or real flat out telepathy in order to connect and bring out what it is that's bothering people. And this is viewed as being really inspiring. Now, I looked at the bottom of the deck. I'm like, how does this inspire others? And I have the Two of Cups. I feel like you quickly develop a bond. And it's like you become that person. You're like, that's my friend. That's my friend. And everybody that has any time with you says, hey, that's my friend. Like, they know me. They get me. And that's really heroic, because you can connect on a really deep level. I don't feel like you do a lot of surface relationships or surface friendships. And you don't really care like what walk people come from. You just have this innate ability to just connect. And your connection is deep, and it's felt, and it's powerful. And sometimes your connection can really carry people into calmer waters, or it could just really serve to navigate and direct people that are confused. And I think that's really beautiful as well. So let's look at that. Yep, you're everybody's friend. That's really fascinating here. Power, why does this inspire other people, please? Oh, that was already flipped. With the Eight of Cups. Yeah, so you also help people see that if they're going through a hard time, if they're having a need to move away from a situation, a person, a friendship, a job, a relationship, a school, anything like that, that you have the ability to give people comfort, to give them strength to do it. I feel like you can even navigate them. Maybe you're a counselor. You're in that kind of a healing art where you're a counselor or a psychiatrist, psychologist, therapist, but whatever healing modality it is. I think that you have the ability to help people to face their intuition, to listen to the subtle promptings of their intuition and to make moves accordingly. I also feel like you kind of lessen the pain. Not that we're trying to rescue people at all, even though the topic is what type of hero are you? But it's not that you're like lessening people's pain, but that they know that they have someone. They feel like they have someone that they can rely on while they do undergo this time. The next I have is the Empress. You could have been drawn to pile number 1, by the way. She showed up there as well, but this gorgeous Empress has a star on her mind. And I feel like with the Sanctuary and being the Empress is all about abundance and listening and enjoying, you know, the fruits of your labor, what you have earned, what you have done with your own hands, or even what you've inherited doesn't make a difference. But I feel like you have that ability to help people to get in touch with what makes their body feel comfortable, what makes their body feel happy. For example, like you could be a belly dancer and teach others how to do it, a yoga teacher, a fitness trainer, a cross trainer, whatever the case may be. But you help people to find their happy place and have that linked as part of their abundance. Because I feel like some of us are missing that quite a bit. Yeah, and I feel like you have that ability to connect people to their emotions, whether you know it or not. I don't know if I said that, but I just said it, okay? So, how do some people villainize or misunderstand this about you? Let's figure this out. How does this hero part of you, or parts plural, how does this get misunderstood or villainized by others, please? Oh, okay. The Hanged Man. And this Hanged Man, this usually, I want to say this is the only deck I have that the Hanged Man is unwillingly hanging. This is like a captured hangman. I feel like people can villainize you because your perspective on things or your effect on them makes them kind of stop and look at things from a different perspective that they never would have thought they would have looked at before. It makes them get out of their element, which here in this case, the merman is, you know, a creature of the water mostly. And with this net, I feel like you can be villainized because people can blame you for forcing them to look at things in a different manner, for even enlightenment that they don't want, which is really quite interesting. I heard the word obtuse for walking the plank, even though this is like a little boardwalk. I feel like you can take people's lives, or people can blame you for taking their life currently and forcing them into like an awakening that they don't really want to deal with. For example, you could be somebody that is a conspiracy theorist, quote unquote, because, you know, the government made that term up, by the way. And you can, you know, present facts or ideas to them and it keeps their brain going and they're like, oh my goodness. And I feel like they could have, you know, this moment of, oh my gosh, what's going on? Am I losing my mind type thing? Yeah, you could have that effect on other people. So they could feel trapped by your energy some way, somehow. Also, like we mentioned before, they could feel trapped that, you know, they're near you or they have a relationship with you and that you have strong telepathy because you always seem to know what is going on with them, that kind of a thing. That's a perception, by the way. I mean, it could or could not be true. So how is this hero part of you or parts of you villainized? Please, 2 more cards. Villainized or misunderstood. The 9 of Cups. Yeah. Interesting, because this talks about a wish fulfillment. And I feel like because these are coming out together, this is saying that you prompt people inadvertently, I don't feel like you do it deliberately, to really question what it is that they want. And it's like, what is my wish fulfillment? I thought it was a house and I don't know, a job and a title. And I thought it was this nice vehicle and these really cool clothes that I have and the presentable boyfriend or whatever, girlfriend. But I feel like they wind up being around you and affected by your energy so much, because you're all about energy and change. Yeah. And cleansing their aura and their health, by the way, and opening up their eyes that they're saying, is that really my 9 cups? Does that really make me happy? Well, I've had all this money and how come I'm not happy? And now they're being, quote, forced into thinking about things. Okay. And last one here is a Page of Swords. I feel like you could be villainized, in a manner that these people are drawn to really research you further or do some homework on you or go deep, right? She's deep, even though there's this like little exit area right here. This mermaid is just kind of chilling and looking at that sword, the sword of truth. And I feel like this is another way that you affect people, is that they, you know, once again, go within and start doing some homework and saying, well, is that even true? Am I losing my mind? Or, you know, what is going on here? So I think that that puts people in a very uncomfortable position. And you can kind of like be that tower moment in people's lives inadvertently, just by being you. And I feel like it's all about your energy. You could also have really gorgeous hair, beautiful hair, but you definitely have a beautiful heart. And it stands out to other people. So how are you being supported or inspired? Let's find this out. Pile number 2, how are you supported? How are you being supported or inspired, please? If you hear snoring, that is not me. That is my dog. How are you being supported or inspired? The Lovers, okay. Was not expecting that. Okay. So I feel like you're definitely divinely supported. I feel like even this angel right here, she reminds me in this card of the Temperance card. And this is of healing. And I feel like you're being supported in the fact that you have to make choices. Now that sounds like a weird thing, but making choices and options that are healthier for you. Do you want to go back to like a past lover or a past situation that was very important to you, or do you want to head towards the new situation, one that gives you more freedom, is in line with your sanctuary and your energy field and things like that? So you're being supported because even people tend to be around you and make the decision for you. And sometimes that does happen. They could ghost you, they could leave, they could not say much about much. Okay, I'm having cards fly all over the place. This is from the other deck. 10 of Cups. You're being supported by emotional gratification, loyalty, family, even if it's not, oh my gosh, stop. 10 of Cups with the 10 of Cups, we're taking that too. So you, pile number 2, are being supported by having 20 cups. Yep, but this is the quintessential family life, happiness, enjoyment. But again, doesn't have to be family. It could be business. It could be friends. Usually it's a mix of family, friends, and work people as well, acquaintances. But you're definitely supported. You could even be supported by another business person, an influencer, or somebody who is a mover and a shaker. And by having people, again, leave your area, leave your space that are not good for you, and they know they're not good for you. You're being supported also by having revelations given to you, or revealed to you. Emotional fulfillment. That is so cool. Let's look at the hero's self-care. And I use these cards a little bit different than I did in the first one because, I'm just not that organized. Let's not kid ourselves. I tend to read more intuitively and wildly. Okay, the hero's self-care. Let's see what this looks like. Courage. Wow, having courage. I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. Okay, so if you're afraid, do it anyways. It's okay to be scared. That's what my friend says. The hero's self-care. That's pretty straightforward right there. Continue doing what it is that you're doing, even if it feels a little bit scary. Indecision. I use my intuition in all aspects of life. Yeah, so part of your self-care is sticking true to your intuitive powers. That is a subtle body of energy as well that is supportive of you at this point in time, and is going to be something that you need to frequently check in with, because I feel like you're kind of elevating, and until you, quote, get the hang of it, we never get the hang of it. We're always changing and evolving and growing. There is a need for you when you're feeling indecisive to just check in, and that's going to help you the most right now in the form of self-care. And your last card, bottom of the deck, I have is imagination. I embrace and nourish the creative aspects of my mind. So yeah, I feel like you do have a link to pile number 1. If you feel led to, that would be great. You don't have to watch it. I feel like you could have synchronicities. I do feel like most of you guys are having a lot of like isolation time right now. Yeah, just spending a lot of time by yourself and thinking and meditating, or kind of just living your life, right? Living your life. We don't have to be lonely because we're alone. The Hero Self-Care. I'm going to take 2 more cards because I can. Part of the Hero Self-Care. Page of Swords, doing a little bit of homework, a little bit of analysis, willing to cut off anything that moves. Now that part is not true. The tip of her sword is missing here. So I feel like when you're juggling, when you're kind of like, okay, and I heard robbing Peter to pay Paul, and it could be this thing of dualistic, you know, being spiritual, but yet living in the 3D and still having bills to pay, because miraculously those bills just don't disappear. So the 2 of Pentacles, you know, is finding a balance and juggling. Maybe you have 2 different jobs, or a job in school that demands your attention, or family in school, or family and job, whatever the case may be. Heard family and fashion. So that could be pertaining to one person out there. But I do feel like, you know, there is a need for information, to look closely at how you're juggling things, and maybe make some decisions there. So that's part of your self-care, is to make sure that you're not juggling or doing too much. I feel like those clouds, that indecision or those doubts, are part of this cloud, and it could be gone by you examining what exactly are you juggling in your daily life that makes you feel a little bit out of balance, or a little bit like you need to show off, because this is my show off card, and who doesn't love to show off from time to time, right? So that's what I have for you. If you're liking these readings, please do give me a like, share, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much for being here. Much love to you, and until next time, namaste. Hi, pile number 3. My name is Griselle with Psychic MD, and I'm here to do your reading. Thank you so much for joining me. At the risk of putting this little tea light out, I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit of cleansing going on here. What type of hero are you? So you got the present, gift, treasure, revelation of own value, and nowness. Pile number 3, let's see what we have for thee. 2 more cards. What type of hero are you, please? Sisterhood and beauty. Well, obviously. Sisterhood with friendship, allies, compatible souls, loyalty, joy, and delight. And beauty with grace, loveliness, integrity of form and spirit. That's very beautiful, actually. So I think that you're very earthy. If I had to guess, you would be somebody connected with the Queen of Pentacles or the King of Pentacles. We don't read gender here. We do read energy. So I feel like you would be committed. People can feel very connected to you, like that you're a lifelong friend or somebody that they would love to get to know. I feel like you're very warm and inviting, and other people like kind of, you know, want to warm themselves by that kind of a fire. The fact that you're easy on the eyes, that you're beautiful or handsome. I heard the word stud. Some of you guys could be a stud. Who am I to judge? I feel like you have a lot of grace and loveliness, and that in itself brings people towards you. And right here, I feel like this light is shining. These are mermaids, so they are sitting on top of what's presumably a shipwreck. And I feel like this is saying, you know, you can take people to the depth and sit with them. Or if people are down in the dumps or feeling depressed or whatever, that you'll actually go and sit with them and you'll listen to them and counsel them if needed or if wanted. But you are somebody who will actually hold their hand in time of need. You're not a fair weather friend. You're not somebody that's like, oh, be well and be merry, you know. You'll get in there and you'll get dirty if you need to. I love how you ground also, and I feel like there's a fierceness about you. And it's almost like, even though her tail is incredibly beautiful right here, I do feel like you have been attacked, maybe for being beautiful, for being down to earth, for people thinking that you will not or could not defend yourself for some reason. Now, this is not due to the cards. I'm an intuitive reader as well, and that's what I'm feeling. I do feel like you could have had your heart broken a couple of times by people, I heard fake friends, but you are a hero to people because I feel like you are dedicated to the divine sisterhood or brotherhood or just humanhood, right? I think that you're a hero because you bring people to the present, you help slow down their racing thoughts, help them to really understand and appreciate where they're at and what is going on around them. Yep, look. I heard friendship with the lovely. 6 of Cups. This is not one of my favorite cards. I don't really, but the representation of it, I'm not keen on the artwork in this particular one. Anyways, neither here nor there. So 6 of Cups is about nostalgia. It's about, in this case, apparently, it's about having fun. It's about remembering the time when we were carefree, when we were younger, we didn't have a lot of responsibility. We really enjoyed the now. We didn't really attach a lot of meaning to the future or even the past. Some of us didn't anyways. We all had different childhoods, obviously. But the 6 of Cups is about nostalgia, and I feel like this inspires nostalgia in others. It's like, wow, pile number 2, you're that friend that I used to have when I was in kinder, or you were that friend when I was in the 5th grade that you were like true and blue, that kind of a friend. I'm feeling that vibe with you. And you're beautiful to boot, and not a mean word out of your mouth, I feel. But don't get it twisted. You can throw down if you need to. I feel like if people come at you sideways, you got that covered as well. Let's see. How do some people villainize or misunderstand these parts of you? How are you villainized or misunderstood? Okay, so people can get confused and get in their heads. People can feel like, you know, you're saying, well, live in the present or focus on the present, on the here and now. And they can be almost like thinking, I'm thinking too much and I don't know what to move, which way to move. And they could almost crutch on you and kind of be codependent. Because you're somebody who holds people's hands so easily, I feel like people can actually get addicted to that or feel like you need to be their stepladder in order for them to climb or change or grow. And that's just not true. So again, it's perception, okay? And how you get villainized also is some people can say that you're really slow to move. There's a lot of kind of sitting around or resting or enjoying the moment. And the Page of Pentacles is almost like, yeah, but this person's a little bit too slow. And, you know, they could be saying about you that you offer just a little bit. Well, it's not that hard to sit with somebody, you know. What would help me is if they would help me with my bill or whatever. And so that could be villainized and shows a lack of gratitude by people around you. But anyways, you get the point to that. And, oh, the King of Cups. Okay. So the King of Cups has been all of the, basically, you've gone all throughout the whole Cups suit. And it's interesting to me because the suit of Cups is a little bit fickle for me. Because it's a little bit like, ooh, I'm in love with love and you're so beautiful and whispering sweet nothings when you're a page. And when you're a knight, even perhaps, you're just, you know, discovering, exploring, and for a lot of people, sowing their seeds and things like that. But I feel like with this King of Cups right here, this could be seen as like, weaponizing your past, like, oh, this is a Romeo. You want to be careful with this Romeo, you know. They're beautiful, they're handsome, they're, you know, from top to bottom, they could be deep and everything. But even though they'll hold your hand and they'll be there and they'll help you be present, in the present moment, this person has had like a history of romances that you want to be careful of. And that could be true, that could not be true. That's entirely up to you to interpret, but that's how that could be manipulated as well. You know, that they're sitting here in sisterhood for you, or brotherhood, or whatever, because there is a motive. That's how that could be seen. Seven of Pentacles is at the bottom of the deck, so you could also be misunderstood because you do take time to kind of, you know, reassess. You take a moment to pause and to look, and maybe you do a lot of pausing and looking, and what's wrong with that? Absolutely nothing. But you want to look and see, like, you know, what is growing, what is music to your ears. Is it like, I think of that Cash App when people send you cash, it goes ching, and I love the, you know, sound effect of like you're a gambler or something like that. I'm definitely not a gambler, but it kind of makes me laugh every time, so that's kind of cool. But I feel like with the Seven of Pentacles, you could be making assessments. You know, periodically you check in. Hey, is this good? Is this growing? The investment that I made, the money that I'm putting into it, the emotion, the time, the energy, the hand holding, the listening, the helping people be grounded and present. Is this helping? Is it hindering? Is it giving back? Or is it debilitating other people from growing? I feel like you know, ask yourself all of those things. And that could be really misunderstood as like, oh, what's in it for me? And that's not the energy at all. So how are you being supported or inspired? And how are you being supported right now? I feel like it's with the Three of Cups. I feel like people celebrating you, people inviting you over for coffee, for tea, for a snack, I heard. I mean, take that however you will, right? Pile number 3, we don't judge here. But I do see that, you know, it's like the three sisters. There's something to be said about like the three fates and the crone, the maiden, and the, what's the other one? The crone, the maiden, and the, oh gosh, I forget. Anyways, but it'll be too late for me to edit that in here. But the three faces of fate and everything. So you've got 3 being echoed quite a bit here. And I feel like you definitely change the chemistry in the room, and how that is inspiring you, and how you're being supportive is that you elevate the room. And that's very cool. So people say, oh, pile number 3 is coming over, and they get all excited because you have that good mojo, that good elevated perspective, that depth, and that ability to ground and allow other people to shine too. So I feel like you are not somebody who wants to hog the spotlight. You don't necessarily have to be in the center of everything. I think that your patience and your willingness to be whatever people need to be at the time while they're healing, while they're undergoing things, speaks volumes. And it causes people to want to celebrate you, give back to you, give emotional, I don't know, gratification, like give to you on an emotional level that maybe it's surprising. And I think that is so cool. Now you could have a connection with, I think it was pile number 2 that this came out, the Hanged Man. And so also, I feel like how you are being helped right now is that maybe you're being forced to look at things from a different perspective. Once again, this is the only mermaid or merman that is actually captured by a net and being forced into contemplation almost, right? Because they're upside down, they're taken out of their element. And how you're being supported is maybe you've spent a lot of time earthing and grounding and meditating and going solo. And now it is a time that, you know, because you're being supported here, it's a time to spend with other people to kind of put those skills to the test, I'm hearing. But not just like testing yourself in real life, but trusting yourself. I think that a lot of us have a hard time with trusting ourselves. And this type of energy lends itself to being super grounded. But you know, there's a need to be around other people. Now, I know personally I can really isolate, and I'm perfectly fine with that. Look at what just jumped out, the High Priestess. We'll address that in a second. Perfectly happy just being on my own. I don't really crave a lot of, you know, other people. But I also know it's not very healthy for me. And so I feel like Spirit is really giving you like maybe the 3 of Cups. This is like friends that you can celebrate with, or family, or people that you could really enjoy their company and whatnot. And it's forcing you to kind of look at things differently. It has you out of your element. You're feeling uncomfortable. And maybe you're starting to see, hey, that's actually really pretty fun. I can enjoy myself as well. Now with the High Priestess here. I feel like this is an opportunity. I heard glow up again and for you to elevate, but look at the green right here being referenced. I didn't even notice that before. And this seems really kind of witchy and vibey with all these things. It's almost like her outfit is just like, woo, I'm gonna grab you. But with the High Priestess, this is she who knows, she who holds secrets. I do feel like you are the secret keeper of the group. If there is a group, I do feel like there's a group around you. It could be siblings, again, friends, family, coworkers. But you find yourself in center stage for some reason, even unwittingly, right? And I feel like the reason why is because people come to you for support and to lean on you, but also for your wisdom, because the High Priestess knows a lot. You have a lot of wisdom. You know how the cogs in the world work in many ways. I feel like you have that knowledge that people feel like they can get through osmosis as well. So you could find that people are drawn to you. They literally want to sit next to you and maybe perhaps not say anything because it could be a little bit intimidating. But look at all that water around and it's just kind of crashing everywhere. And I feel like you seem really confident and at peace, being able to navigate things of an emotional nature. And that's how you're being supported too, is that, you know, you have everything that you need at your disposal. And also with the moon back here, I feel like you are privy to a lot of secrets and a behind the scenes glimpse, if you will, into other people's lives. And you can rest assured that, you know, you kind of have that insight, so you don't have to be afraid. I feel like maybe if you have, you know, issues with agoraphobia or fear, or if you're an introvert like myself, you know, that could be a little bit difficult to be around people a lot, but it's good for us to be around people because, you know, we didn't come here just by ourselves. So the Two of Pentacles, you're also being supported because you have things to juggle. And look at this rabbit. Interesting to me because I think about, it's like follow the rabbit. And these two are like totally mesmerized. And maybe there's two things that you do that are so easy for you, or that appear to be easy for you. I feel like you can be at this point in your life where you are juggling two different things that are that you're equally skilled at. I keep throwing cards on the floor, and that means I'm gonna have to get them. I have no choice. It's a rule. But yeah, you could. Oh gosh, cool. So I have the Two of Cups that just straight jumped out and wanted to be seen. So the Two of Cups here, yeah, you are other people's person, other people's rock. You are the person that is willing to go and even bring ideas from the depth. But by the same token, how you're supported, I feel like other people are connected with you and that they're willing to say, hey, I have a drink for you, or, you know, like, reciprocal energy. It's like, you've gone through depth for me. I want to be here for you. Even if I can't dive with the same intensity or the same tenacious focus or the same results, I want to be here anyways. Even if I'm bobbing around in this little dinghy here, I want to be here for you. Even if I don't have a majestic mermaid tail or merman tail, I want to be here for you and listen because I get you. Yeah, so twos, you could be seeing a lot of twos. 222 could be important for you. The High Priestess, actually, these are all twos, you guys. You can't make this up. For those of you that are seeing the number 222, and that is something that I've been seeing quite frequently the past, I would say like month and a half, 2 months. Even one of my makeups is like 222, and I'm like, get out of here with that. Yep, but it definitely, you want to look into like angel numbers, or know that, you know, you are definitely being communicated with. And also, you might be having like a divine counterpart or divine partnership, whether it's business or a higher pleasure. I got to deliver the way I got to deliver. So something about your life is being supported and changing. The hero self-care looks like this. It looks like a partnership. It looks like, let me help you, not juggle necessarily, but let me help you kind of balance things out. An equitable amount of energy being given towards you. So nothing's ever going to be exactly the same. And right now, the number 1616 on my camera, what is this? How are you being supported? The Knight of Wands. Yeah, so I feel like you're drawing somebody who is really powerful. This dude, it looks like part shark. Yep, maybe. But intense, incredibly focused, a go-getter. Somebody who's like, I'm going to go after what I want, right? Sharks are tenacious and they'll kind of bump something, and you could have somebody literally bump into you, right? And just to kind of see how you react and try to make a connection. So I feel like, yeah, there's somebody definitely like focused on you quite a bit, and how you're being supported. The hero self-care is the Fool, taking a chance, taking a risk, traveling light. This also addresses issues like such as myself, like, you know, having too much stuff, just get rid of it and move on. That way you can travel lighter, right? With the green purse and the green right here. I feel like this is a reference to your heart chakra opening up, and this is the way. And this is what you're going to carry, what is important to you. And that's going to give you legs even to have movement on land, which is very cool. I feel like maybe the period of not stagnation, but because I feel like you're happy with it. When you picture stagnation, it feels like, oh, I can't move and I can't do anything and I'm stuck here, but I don't get that vibe from you. I get the vibe from you like, oh yeah, cool. I'm like grounded and things are chill, and I enjoy my coffee and I'm looking at the trees, and you know, that kind of a vibe. So I feel like how you're being supported is things are shaking up a little bit, and it does have to do with other people coming into your life. What? Queen of Pentacles. Even if people come in your life, you are still grounded, by the way. So again, we read energy, not sex, but this is about being grounded. I feel like animals love you, kids love you. People just are magnetized by you, and you still have, even though you're very grounded with this Queen of Pentacles, you're very much in tune with your emotions. I think that you're a mixture of the Pentacle suit and the Cup suit. So you could be emotional, but very grounded and level-headed at the same time, which is very, very cool. I love that energy, and I love the support that you're getting from the universe. I feel like you might be feeling like things are a little bit mysterious right now with her outfit, the way it's flowing out, like things are hidden behind her. And maybe on the top of your head, you're saying, I'm interested in like making money. I need to make that money, make that bag. And you know, that is, yes, that's important too. But in the making of that, don't forget to be present where you're at currently. So that is what I have for you. Much love to you. If you like these kind of readings, please do give me a like, share, comment, subscribe. Also, if you're a brave soul, leave me a message on what you'd like to see next. And until next time, namaste.